Most actors are too professional to admit when a scene made them uncomfortable. These 7 K-drama actors weren't. They talked about the nerves, the cringe, the creative frustration, and the moments they just wanted to get through as fast as possible. What's surprising is how many of those same scenes became the ones fans couldn't stop talking about, starting from Hye-sun. When she took on Mr. Queen, the assignment was genuinely strange. Play a Joseon queen whose body has been taken over by the soul of a modern-day male chef. That meant walking, sitting, throwing tantrums, and reacting to everything around her with the physicality of someone who has absolutely no idea how to be a 19th century aristocrat. She later admitted those scenes felt deeply odd to film. She worried she looked crazy. She wasn't sure any of it was working. And behind-the-scenes footage reveals exactly what was happening between takes. She and Kim Jong-hyun would collapse into laughter the moment the director called cut, with Kim Jong-hyun covering his face saying, "I can't lift my head." That's not 2 actors brimming with confidence. Every exaggerated swagger, every double take, every moment of masculine attitude delivered inside a hanbok. She went full send even when she thought it might be failing. The result was one of the most praised comedic performances in recent K-drama history, a Baeksang nomination, and a drama fans still call one of the funniest ever made. Not bad for something she was privately second-guessing, but quiet self-doubt is one kind of discomfort. What the next person on this list experienced was something much more specific, and honestly much funnier. Lee Soo-hyuk, boyfriend on demand. He moves through a scene like he has nowhere more important to be. Unhurried, magnetic, and carrying the kind of composure that makes other actors look slightly nervous just by comparison, which makes his confession about boyfriend on demand genuinely surprising. The romantic dialogue in the drama, he admitted, made him cringe, not because it was badly written, but because it was so thoroughly, unambiguously cheesy. His description of how he got through it became the best part of the story. He said he had to clench his toes while filming to stop himself from visibly reacting to his own lines, standing there, composed on the outside, quietly curling up on the inside. There's something universally understood about that experience. Saying, "I can't imagine my life without you," with conviction in front of a full camera crew is not a natural human activity. The crying scenes, the fight scenes, the dramatic confrontations, those actually come with emotional fuel. The achingly sincere romance lines are their own separate challenge. Underneath all the cool exterior was someone having the most honest possible reaction to the K-drama genre. Fans loved him even more for saying it out loud. Cringing through dialogue is uncomfortable. But the actor coming up next had to deal with something heavier, a creative decision about his own character that he disagreed with so strongly, he said so publicly before the drama had even left everyone's minds. Min Woo-hyuk, Dr. Cha. Roy Kim became one of the breakout characters of 2023, warm, self-sacrificing, quietly devastating in a way the drama almost undersold. Fans were devoted to him. Week after week, they held out for an ending that felt like it matched everything the character had given. Then the finale aired. Then Min Woo-hyuk gave an interview. He said he hated Roy's ending, not lukewarm about it, hated it. He flat out said he didn't want to film the scene where Roy appears in the time jump with another woman, having moved on as Jung-suk once encouraged him to do. He felt it didn't honor what Roy had actually been carrying, not romantic love exactly, but a deep need for family, for belonging, built from a lifetime of growing up without it. He said he would have preferred Roy to stay close to Jung-suk or return to America to rebuild something real with the parents who raised him. Even the director, he revealed, expressed remorse. The scene still got made. Actors publicly disagreeing with character decisions while the drama is still fresh is rare. Most wait until it's safely in the past or don't say anything at all. He said it almost immediately, and he said it clearly. Korean viewers piled into online communities to weigh in on both sides. His honesty turned what could have been a forgettable finale controversy into a conversation that lasted weeks. We're halfway through, and the top 4 are operating on a different level. The next one involves a duo whose off-camera friendship created a problem no one anticipated. Song Kang, Nevertheless. Everything about the chemistry between Song Kang and Han So-hee in Nevertheless looked electric, deliberate, and effortlessly controlled. Fans analyzed every glance, every pullback, every loaded pause. It felt like 2 people who had agreed, somewhere deep down, to make each other's lives complicated. The behind-the-scenes reality was the opposite of charged. The 2 became close friends almost instantly. Between takes, they were laughing, joking, fixing each other's costumes. The behind-the-scenes footage is almost jarring if you've just watched the show. They look like two people who find each other genuinely hilarious. At one point, the director had to stop filming and tell Han So-hee directly that she was making it too obvious she liked Song Kang, not the character, her. Song Kang admitted that switching off the ease and flipping into the drama's brooding romantic tension didn't always come naturally. One moment they're laughing. Director calls action. Now suddenly they're supposed to want each other with complicated, barely contained intensity. That switch sounds simple. It's not. The fact that the chemistry translated as well as it did, given how much genuine comfort existed between them, says more about the craft involved than anything the finished product reveals. But what's coming next is a different category entirely. Because the next two actors weren't just navigating emotional challenges, they were dealing with the kind of physical and technical discomfort that cameras don't capture at all. Kim Ji-hoon, Money Heist, Korea. International attention came quickly for Kim Ji-hoon after Money Heist Korea aired. Certain scenes became talking points, and what he said about them afterward reframes the experience entirely. He spoke candidly about how mechanical, intimate scenes actually are to film. Not romantic, not charged, mechanical. Cameras bracketing you from angles that feel nothing like cinematic. Lighting being recalibrated between every take. Multiple crew members watching and adjusting while two people try to perform naturalness on command. He was direct about not being in any rush to repeat it. What that account captures is something the viewing experience never reveals, the complete absence of privacy. Viewers receive a finished moment. The actors produce it inside something closer to a technical procedure, surrounded by staff and equipment, with every detail being managed in real time. That gap between what registers on screen and what existed on set is wider than most fans ever imagine. Kim Ji-hoon didn't dress it up. The scene looked one way, the experience was another. And yet everything he described, the cameras, the crew, the technical discomfort, was only part of what the actor at number one had to manage. He came in carrying something extra before a single frame was shot. Park Bo-gum, Love in the Moonlight. Everything about his presence on screen suggests someone who was born to play romantic leads, warm, unhurried, and expressive in a way that feels almost involuntary, like the emotion is simply there without effort. Which makes what he admitted about Love in the Moonlight one of the more surprising entries on this list. He quietly acknowledged that certain romantic moments on set made him feel shy. Not the character, him. Personally uncomfortable, in a way that required real effort to move through. The conditions didn't make it easier. Heavy historical costumes that weren't built for long shooting days, emotionally demanding scenes requiring sustained intensity, and full production crews watching every single take. The prince whose confidence never wavers was being played by someone who was privately working through his own nerves to get there. His co-star Kim Yoo-jung gave her own honest account from the same set. She revealed she was more preoccupied with the fact that both she and Park Bo-gum were wearing traditional top-knot hairstyles during their kiss scene than she was with anything else about filming it. Two leads, navigating the same scene from completely different directions, with the audience seeing none of it. But shyness and wardrobe nerves are still a long way from what number one on this list carried into filming, because he didn't just show up uncertain. He showed up with a plan to get through it as fast as possible and went to the director to make sure of it. Ji Chang-wook, the K2. There's a scene in the K2 that K-drama viewers still bring up when the conversation turns to action sequences. The bathhouse fight, tight choreography, near total exposure, roughly 10 men in a space that left nothing to camera tricks or cutaways. It landed as one of the most talked about scenes in the genre. Ji Chang-wook was dreading it before a single frame was shot. He told the director straightforwardly, maintaining the physical condition required for this scene was considerably difficult. Daily training, strict diet, and both things becoming harder as filming of the full drama continued. He felt nervous about the entire concept, complex fight choreography, essentially undressed, in close quarters with a large group of other actors all on camera. He was genuinely worried viewers might be put off if it wasn't handled with precision. The pressure became specific enough that he made a direct request: film the scene first, before anything else in the drama. The director understood, and it became the very first scene Ji Chang-wook shot for the entire production. His own description afterward? He called it a scene filmed wearing only a thin, nude-colored layer. Embarrassing was the word he used, not ours. And yet he also said, once it was done, that he was satisfied with how it came out. something unusual and unconventional, in his words. That satisfaction is visible in the result. The process behind it was a different story entirely. Which story on this list hit differently for you? Was there someone here who surprised you? Tell me in the comments. And if you haven't watched 13 K-drama actors who are completely different off-screen yet, that one picks up right where this leaves off. A few of those gaps between public image and private personality are genuinely hard to believe.